How many times have you gone out of your way to be nice to someone only to be met with indifference, disrespect, or even betrayal? How often have you sacrificed your own comfort, energy, and happiness just to keep the peace? And tell me, what did you get in return? We've been taught since childhood that kindness is a virtue, that being nice makes us good people. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Not everyone values your generosity. And the more you give without boundaries, the more people will take without gratitude. Today I'm here to tell you something that might sound controversial. Stop being kind to everyone. Not because kindness is bad, but because blind kindness is dangerous. It drains you. It makes you a target. And worst of all, it makes you forget to be kind to the one person who matters most, yourself. If you're tired of being walked over, exhausted from being the nice one, and ready to take back control of your life, then keep listening. Because this speech might just change the way you see kindness forever. Imagine walking into a room and handing out $100 bills to every single person you see. No questions asked, no conditions, no expectations, just giving away your hard-earned money to anyone who crosses your path. At first, people smile. They thank you. They might even admire your generosity. But what happens next? Some will keep coming back for more. Others will take what you give and walk away without a second thought. A few might even start expecting it, demanding it, feeling entitled to what you freely give. Now, replace money with kindness. The same thing happens. The more you give indiscriminately, the more people come to expect it and the less they appreciate it. Because when something is given freely, without discernment, it loses its value. We've been taught that kindness is a virtue, that we should be good to everyone no matter what, but let me ask you this. Should kindness really be handed out like a free sample at a grocery store? Shouldn't it be something people earn? Something that holds weight? Something that matters? Not everyone deserves your kindness. That's a hard truth, but it's one you need to hear. There are people in this world who see kindness as weakness. They see generosity as something to exploit. They take without giving back. They use without appreciation. And they drain you without a second thought. And if you let them, they will keep taking until you have nothing left. I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't kindness supposed to be unconditional? Isn't that what we were told? Love your neighbor, turn the other cheek, be the bigger person. And yes, there is power in compassion. There is beauty in grace. But let me remind you of something. Kindness without boundaries is not kindness at all. It's self-destruction. Think about the people in your life. How many of them truly appreciate the kindness you show? How many give back, even a fraction of what they receive? And how many just take, expecting you to always be the one who understands, the one who forgives? You see, when you hand out kindness to everyone without thought, you blur the line between generosity and self-sacrifice. And when you sacrifice too much of yourself, you start to disappear. You become the person who never says no, the one who always shows up even when you're exhausted, the one who carries the burdens of others while your own struggles go unnoticed. And let me tell you, there's nothing noble about being a martyr to people who wouldn't do the same for you. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Make your kindness mean something. Be selective. Give it to those who earn it, who appreciate it, who show you the same in return. Be generous, but with wisdom. Be compassionate, but with boundaries. Because when kindness is given to the right people, it grows. It strengthens relationships. It creates trust, respect, and genuine connection. But when it's wasted on those who only take, it drains you, it weakens you, and it leaves you empty. And you deserve better than that. So the next time you feel the urge to be kind to someone, ask yourself, is this person worthy of my kindness? Have they shown me respect? Have they given me the same consideration I'm about to give them? If the answer is no, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop handing out kindness like loose change. Maybe it's time to treat it like something rare, something valuable, something only given to those who truly deserve it. Because the moment you do that, the moment you make kindness something that must be earned, you'll start to see the difference. You'll see who truly values you, who respects you, and who was only there for the free handouts. And once you see that, you'll never go back to being kind to everyone again. There's a moment in life when you wake up and realize that you're exhausted, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. And you don't know exactly when it happened. You don't remember the day you crossed the line from being a kind person to being an overwhelmed, drained, stretched, too thin version of yourself. But somewhere along the way, you gave too much. You said yes too many times. You put everyone else before yourself, thinking it was the right thing to do. And now you're tired, not the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. No, this is the kind of tired that settles into your bones, that makes everything feel heavy, the kind of tired that makes even small tasks feel impossible, because you have spent so long carrying the weight of everyone else's needs, problems, and expectations. And why? Because you were taught that being kind means always being available, that being a good person means always putting others first, that saying no is selfish, that setting boundaries is mean, that making yourself a priority somehow makes you a bad friend, a bad partner, a bad person. No, but let me tell you something. That is a lie. Being too kind, too selfless, too giving, without limits, without boundaries, is not a virtue. It's a slow kind of self-destruction. It's a way of pouring yourself out until there's nothing left, until you're running on empty, hoping that someone, anyone, will notice how tired you are and finally say, you don't have to do this. But they won't, because people will take what you give. They will accept your kindness, your sacrifices, your constant yes, and they won't stop to think about what it's costing you, because you never made them. You never told them that your time, your energy, your kindness is not unlimited. And here's the truth. It's not their job to set your boundaries. It's yours. So if you're feeling burned out, drained, exhausted from always being the one who gives, it's time to stop and ask yourself, who's asking you to? Who told you that you have to carry it all? Who told you that your needs, your rest, your peace don't matter as much as everyone else's? And if you trace it back, you'll realize it wasn't one person. It was the world. It was society. It was the expectations that were placed on you from the moment you were old enough to understand that people like you more when you're easy, when you're accommodating, when you don't make waves. But what happens when you finally do? What happens when you start saying no? When you stop showing up for people who never show up for you? When you decide that your time, your energy, your kindness is not something to be taken for granted? I'll tell you what happens. Some people will be upset. They will call you selfish. They will be confused because they were so used to you being the one who always said yes, the one who always helped, the one who never asked for anything in return. And they will try to guilt you, to pull you back in, to make you believe that you are wrong for finally choosing yourself. But you are not wrong, because the people who truly care about you, the ones who love and respect you, they won't be angry that you're setting boundaries. They'll understand. They'll support you. They'll tell you it's about time. And those who don't, well, maybe it's time to let them go. Because the truth is, you cannot keep giving from an empty cup. You cannot keep sacrificing yourself in the name of kindness when that kindness is only leaving you broken, tired, and resentful. You matter too. Your rest matters. Your peace matters. Your well-being matters. And if you won't protect it, no one else will. So stop being kind to everyone at the expense of yourself. Stop saying yes when you want to say no. Stop believing that your worth is measured by how much you can endure for other people. Because the day you finally decide to take care of yourself first, that's the day your real life begins. There's a dangerous misconception in this world that kindness automatically earns you respect, that if you are good to people, they will be good to you, that if you treat others with fairness, they will return the favor. But life doesn't work that way. Kindness on its own does not command respect. If anything, too much kindness given too freely, too carelessly, often leads to the exact opposite. People mistake it for weakness. They see it as something they can use, something they can manipulate. They assume that because you are kind, you will always be forgiving, always be patient, always be willing to give one more chance. And before you know it, you become the person who is always understanding, even when you shouldn't be. The person who is always bending, even when it breaks you. And let me tell you something. You do not earn respect by being a doormat. You do not gain people's admiration by letting them walk all over you, by letting them take advantage of your kindness, simply because they know you won't fight back. Respect is not given to the ones who are always agreeable, who never push back, who never say no. It is given to the ones who know their worth, the ones who understand that kindness is a choice, not an obligation, the ones who refuse to let their good nature be a tool for someone else's convenience. Think about the people in your life, at work, in friendships, in relationships. How many of them truly respect you, and how many simply expect you to always be there, to always be the one who gives, to always be the one who forgives? You see, there's a difference between being a kind person and being a person people take advantage of. There's a difference between generosity and self-sacrifice. And if you're not careful, you will find yourself giving so much of yourself away that there is nothing left to respect. Because here's the hard truth. People respect strength. They respect boundaries. They respect those who know when to walk away. And strength is not the absence of kindness. It is the balance of it. It is knowing when to give and when to withhold. It is understanding that kindness should never come at the cost of your self-respect. Some of you have spent years believing that being a good person means always putting others before yourself. You have told yourself that as long as you are kind, as long as you are patient, as long as you continue to give, people will see your heart and treat you with the same level of care. But look at where that has gotten you. Look at how many times you've been disappointed, how many times you've been used, how many times you've been used, how many times you've been used, how many times you have been used, how many times you've 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 been used. And if that doesn't make you question the way you give your kindness away, I don't know what will. So let me make this clear. Being kind is not the problem. The problem is being kind without boundaries. The problem is believing that kindness alone is enough to make people respect you. It's not. Respect comes from knowing your limits, from refusing to tolerate mistreatment, from showing the world that while you may be kind, you are not weak. You are not a person who will allow your kindness to be taken for granted. Because when you start setting those boundaries, when you start choosing who is worthy of your kindness, you will notice something. The people who only wanted you around because you were easy to take advantage of, they will disappear. The ones who expected you to always say yes, they will get angry. They will call you selfish. They will say you've changed. And they're right, because the moment you decide that your kindness must be earned, that it is no longer free for those who do not deserve it, you will change. And that change will be the best thing you ever do for yourself. So stop assuming that kindness is the path to respect. It isn't. Respect comes from knowing your worth. And when you know your worth, you will stop being kind to those who refuse to see it. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you agreed to something not because you wanted to, but because you were afraid of disappointing someone? You told yourself it was the right thing to do. That being agreeable, being easy to get along with, being the person who always says yes, makes you a good person. But deep down, you knew it wasn't right. Deep down, you felt the weight of it. You felt the frustration, the exhaustion, the quiet resentment building inside of you, and yet you kept doing it. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that pleasing people was more important than pleasing yourself. That keeping the peace was more valuable than your own comfort. That making others happy should come at any cost, even if that cost was your own well-being. But let me tell you something. People-pleasing is a trap. It's a prison disguised as kindness. It fools you into believing that as long as everyone around you is happy, then you should be happy too. But that's not how it works. You see, when you make it your mission to keep everyone else happy, you slowly disappear. Your wants, your needs, your boundaries, they all fade into the background because your focus is never on yourself. It's always on someone else. It's always about what they need, what they want, what will make them comfortable. And before you know it, you've become nothing more than a version of yourself that exists for the benefit of others. And let me tell you, that is not living. You think you're being kind, but what you're really doing is giving pieces of yourself away until there is nothing left. You say yes to things that drain you. You overextend yourself for people who wouldn't do the same for you. You bend, you adjust, you compromise, all in the name of being a good person. But the truth is, people-pleasing doesn't make you a good person. It makes you an exhausted one. It makes you a resentful one. It makes you someone who deep down is angry at yourself for always putting others first, angry at the people who take advantage of it, angry at the fact that no one ever seems to notice just how much you give. But let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped to wonder why? Why do people keep expecting more and more from you? Why do they always come to you when they need something but disappear when you need help? Why do they take your kindness for granted? It's because you taught them to. You taught them that you will always say yes, that you will always be there, that your time, your energy, your kindness, it's all available at their convenience. And as long as you continue to teach them that, They will continue to take, not because they are bad people, but because you never gave them a reason to stop. So if you're tired of being the one who always gives, if you're tired of being the one who is always available, always bending, always putting yourself last, then it's time for a change. And that change starts with one simple word: no. No, I can't do that today. No, I don't have time for this. No, I won't keep giving when I get nothing in return. And when you start saying no, something incredible happens. The people who truly value you will understand. They will respect your boundaries. They will support your decision to finally put yourself first. But the ones who only wanted you around because you were easy to take advantage of, they will get upset. They will call you selfish. They will act as if you have done something wrong. But you haven't, because taking care of yourself is not selfish. Saying no is not cruel. Choosing your own peace over someone else's comfort is not wrong. What's wrong is living your entire life trying to please everyone except yourself. So if you're tired of being drained, tired of feeling like you give more than you receive, tired of being the person who always sacrifices in the name of kindness, then stop. Stop being the one who always says yes. Stop being the one who always puts themselves last. Stop believing that your worth is measured by how much you can do for others. Because the day you finally stop pleasing everyone else is the day you finally start living for yourself. There's a moment in life when you realize that not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your energy, or your kindness. And the sooner you understand that, the better your life will be. Because kindness, when given without thought, without discernment, becomes a burden. It becomes something people expect rather than appreciate. Something they take for granted rather than value. The truth is, kindness should be selective. It should be given to those who reciprocate it, to those who respect it, to those who understand that kindness is not something they are entitled to. It's something they should earn. But too often, we hand it out freely, assuming that it's the right thing to do. We assume that because we are kind, others will be kind in return. That if we are good to people, they will be good to us. But that's not how it works. Some people will see your kindness as an invitation to take advantage of you. They will see it as permission to use you, to drain you, to push your boundaries, because they know you won't push back. And if you don't recognize that, if you don't take control of who receives your kindness, you will spend your life giving to people who never deserved it in the first place. Think about the people in your life. How many of them truly appreciate what you do for them? How many give back even a fraction of what they receive? And how many just take, expecting you to always be the one who understands, the one who sacrifices? The hard truth is, not everyone is worthy of your kindness. Some people only want what you can offer them. Some people only show up when they need something. Some people only stay in your life because they know you won't say no, and if you let them, they will take from you until there is nothing left. That's why you must be selective. That's why you must decide who deserves your kindness and who doesn't. Because kindness is not just about giving, it's about knowing when to stop giving. It's about recognizing when your kindness is being taken for granted and having the strength to walk away. And yes, walking away is hard. Setting boundaries is hard. Saying no is hard. But do you know what's harder? Living your entire life being drained by people who never had any intention of giving back. Some of you have spent years giving your kindness to the wrong people. You have exhausted yourself trying to please those who never once considered what you needed. You have allowed people to take from you, to use you, to treat your kindness as something cheap. And you wonder why you feel empty. You wonder why you feel unappreciated. You wonder why you feel tired all the time. But it's not because you are kind, it's because you have been kind to the wrong people. The right people will never take your kindness for granted. They will never make you feel like your kindness is expected. They will appreciate it. They will respect it. They will give it back. And those are the people you should be kind to. Those are the people who deserve your time, your effort, your generosity. Not the ones who take and take without ever giving anything in return. So, stop giving your kindness away so freely. Stop treating it like something that has no value. Stop believing that you owe kindness to everyone, no matter how they treat you. Because the moment you become selective with your kindness, the moment you decide that it must be earned, you will see a change. You will see who truly values you, who truly respects you, who truly deserves to be in your life. And once you see that, you will never waste your kindness on the wrong people again. At some point, you have to wake up and realize that you are not responsible for carrying the weight of everyone else's happiness. You are not responsible for fixing every problem, for being available at all times, for making sure that no one around you ever feels disappointed, uncomfortable, or upset. That is not your burden to bear. And yet, so many people live as if it is. You become the person who always checks in, who always reaches out, who always makes the effort. You become the one who listens, who sacrifices, who gives and gives until there is nothing left for yourself. You think it's kindness, you think it's love, you think it's what you're supposed to do. But what happens when it starts to drain you? What happens when it begins to feel like an obligation rather than a choice? What happens when you start resenting the very people you once felt so compelled to help? I'll tell you what happens. You begin to lose yourself because when you spend all your time worrying about everyone else, you forget about yourself, your own needs, your own dreams, your own happiness. It all takes a back seat. You become so focused on making sure everyone else is okay that you never stop to ask yourself if you are okay. And what's worse, you convince yourself that this is what it means to be a good person, that self-sacrifice is a virtue, that putting yourself last is the right thing to do. But it's not, because the truth is, if you keep pouring into others while neglecting yourself, eventually you will have nothing left to give. And here's something you may not want to hear. Some people don't actually need your help. Some people don't actually need you to fix their problems. Some people just like the convenience of knowing you will always be there to clean up the mess. They like knowing that no matter how much they take, you will keep giving. They like knowing that no matter how badly they treat you, you will keep showing up. And the reason they continue to do this is because you have allowed them to. But you don't have to anymore. It is not your job to save people. It is not your job to make excuses for them, to fix their mistakes, to carry their burdens as if they are your own. Some people need to experience the consequences of their actions. Some people need to learn how to stand on their own. Some people need to figure things out without you always stepping in. And yes, I know it's hard. I know you care. I know you don't want to see people struggle. But ask yourself, who is doing that for you? Who is carrying your burdens? Who is making sure you don't fall apart? If the answer is no one, then it's time for a change. Because real kindness, real love, real friendship It's not about losing yourself for the sake of others. It's not about carrying more than your share. It's about balance. It's about mutual respect. It's about giving and receiving. So if you are always the one who gives, if you are always the one who carries the weight, if you are always the one who sacrifices while others take, then it's time to stop. It's time to set boundaries. It's time to let people figure things out for themselves. Because the moment you stop taking responsibility for everyone else's happiness, you will finally have the chance to find your own.